Hello everyone, this is going to be your psychic or intuitive astrology read for the new moon chart, which is occurring on February 27th, 2025, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, but times will vary. It's a new moon in Pisces, but boy, is there a huge Pisces lineup, including the North Node conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So lots to talk about. Before we dive into it, I just want to let you know that you are watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and my name is vickieverlie, and you can find me at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. If you enjoy this content, I would love it if you hit the like and subscribe buttons. It costs nothing, and it helps with my channel. So thank you for that. All right, let's dive in. Boy, do we have a lineup in Pisces here. So we've got Ceres, the Sun, the Moon, 9 degrees 41. Saturn and Mercury are conjunct together. Neptune and the Node are conjunct together. So there is just a lot of Pisces energy going on. So, you know, Pisces is the spiritual, it is the subconscious mind, it is the soft intuitive side. You know, with this nodal change, because the nodes go backwards, the nodes go retrograde most of the time. So with the nodes were in Aries, and it's going retrograde, and then it ends up now in the high degrees. It starts at 29 of Pisces and starts working its way down. So we've just ingressed in, this node has just ingressed into Pisces, which I did a whole video on if you want to look into it more. But you know, it's coming out of Aries. And Aries is such an outward expression. You know, even the sign, the Mars, it's ruled by Mars, and it's this arrow, like we're pushing outward. It's a masculine. It's like the war god, all these sort of things. It's the, you know, this horn, we're going to push our way through. And there was a lot, while the nodes were in Aries, there was a lot of this outward expression. And like Me Too, I'm not sure if that was quite, that might have been Chiron and Aries, but still, this Aries energy is about speaking out, taking action, you know, going to war if need be, assertion, outward assertion in the physical world, making our way into the world. Where the Pisces energy is so different. It's all about our inner world. It's all about connecting with our higher guides and our intuition and our higher energy. And the transiting node, the North Node conjunct Neptune, I believe the exact day might have been the 7th, but I mean, it's only 1 degree off, not even here. You know, it's about 1 degree off at 28, 27 here, and then 28 degrees. So it's definitely in a tight orb conjunction in the sign of Pisces. So, you know, there is this is super powerful. This is our collective unconscious, the collective conscious, unconscious, I forget how it goes. I think Freud said it was the collective conscious. But anyways, it's all about that. It's all about us tuning in on a spiritual level. I keep hearing like home, you know, that toning, which I've been doing a lot of lately, all this this toning energy and this resonance. You know, there is a component, there is a resonance. It's vibratory. It's not necessarily, it's like when you know, these opera singers sing and they shatter the glass, you know. It's like that. You can't, they're not going up to it with a hammer. With Aries or Mars energy, they might go up to it with a mallet and shatter the glass. But the sound and the voice, which we can't see, but it is a movable force. It affects the physical world that we're in. They're just showing me that wine glass shattering. Used to be a commercial. I think it was Memorex. Oh yeah, is it live or is it Memorex? And whoo, the big opera singer would come on, and you know, the glass would crack, and it was just demonstrating that. Or even how you can do with sound. They put salt on. Like on a drum head or something, and then the vibrations, and it makes these, you know, these like spirograph, you know, symmetrical designs and stuff. It's really cool. So there are fields at work. There are energetic fields all around us, or just the radio or the TV, you know, old-fashioned TV. You know, there's these particles flying through the air, and somehow it comes down and it creates this color image on your screen. And it's just flying through the air, and we can't see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, but yet we know it's there. You know, it's definitely there. So there is that energy. Also with water, what's coming to mind is how water can take multiple forms. You know, it can be mist, it can be ice, it can be solid as ice, it can be mist, it can be pools of water, rain, you know, hail, snowflakes. So water is multi-dimensional, has multiple forms of expression in the physical world. And it's not anything you can hold in your hand necessarily. They're showing me, like, if you try to hold water in your hand, it just goes right through your fingers, you know. It's hard to do. So it's not anything that necessarily you're going to be able to reach out, touch, hold in your hand, yet it's super powerful. It's so much a part of our existence. Our bodies are something like 90-something% water. And if anybody's ever been, you know, in a flood or a mudslide, you can see how water can really, you know, it's super powerful. It's super powerful, but it's not necessarily, you know, in your face. You know, you can't make arrowheads out of it. You can't, but, you know, a giant wave of water can wipe out a town or a city, you know, tsunamis. So it's a powerful force. It's more powerful than any of us singular individuals walking around on this earth. It's flowing, it's energetic. It reaches beyond this realm. It's the bridge. I'm hearing The Bridge to Terabithia. Isn't that a book or something? I think that's a book I might have read back when I was a kid. And I have no idea what it's about. I can't remember any of it. But it's, you know, it's a bridge to the unconscious. It's a bridge to what lies beyond. What lies beyond what we can see and touch and taste and smell. So it's so powerful. Let's break it down even further. So we've got this sun and moon, of course, that's the new moon at 9 degrees. So that's a new moon in Pisces. It's a new beginning. This is the official first new moon that we've had since the node has moved into Pisces. So it's really kind of a kickoff of what this whole next, excuse me, year and a half may be about with the node in Pisces. It's an initiation. It's not a trial by fire, which was the node in Aries, is what I'm getting, but initiation into the deeper realms of consciousness and creation. It's so powerful to create, because everything, before you write a sentence, before you do anything, it comes from somewhere else first. It pops into your head, it comes in your mind, it comes from, you get a download. This is that connection to your own higher self, to the collective unconscious, to your own higher self, to the part of you, you know, like the Holy Spirit, if you're a Catholic, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, or, you know, whatever your religious beliefs, there's always that representation. There's always that Holy Trinity. There's the God, or whatever, the higher, the big boss above, and then there's you on the earth, and then there's that messenger in between. There's that bridge in between. There's that consciousness in between, that stream of energetic flow and energy that goes between the very highest of source that can exist in our earthly body here. Hello everybody. And there's these waves, these energetic waves, okay? Boy, I wish I could find that download picture. Maybe I can find it really quick. That picture of me getting the downloads, that's what they're showing me. I might be able to pull it up on my phone. But anyways, so downloads abound, man. Downloads are abound. The world, we've been in the North Node in Aries, and if you noticed, one of the things that I've noticed is when the North Node was in Aries over the last, you know, couple of years, you know, there's been so much anger, vitriol, we're going to go to war, you know, brother against brother, sister against sister. That's the way I'm hearing it. And you know, there's been a lot of aggression. There's been a lot of aggression between people that maybe were friends forever, but, you know, this just occurred to me lately. A lot of people I see, I've been so not even hardly going on social media. If I go on social media, I just go straight to the groups that I'm interested in, and I bypass I'm not scrolling at all. And because, you know, these people are still on a daily basis bitching and fighting about politics. I mean, how did that work out? How did that did that work out for you? Is that really effective? Is that really, is that really changing anything, do you think? Maybe on some platforms, like maybe X, but I mean, mostly I look on Facebook because that's where my groups are. And it's just like, do you think anybody bitching on Facebook, do you think it's really making a change? Do you think that that's really, and staying in that anger zone, that anger, I'm hearing a different, highway to the danger zone. I'm hearing that old song, Danger Zone. But yeah, is that really helping anything? I don't think so. Not that we should lay down and be passive, but maybe we could, do some more collective things, like, who did I see? Somebody's doing a daily meditation. Oh, Pam Gregory. I'm sure anybody who's watching my videos definitely knows about Pam Gregory, because she's got way more reach than I do. But yeah, that's more along the lines of what we can do with the Pisces energy. And, Pisces is, being with the group. It definitely is being with the group. It definitely is a group, collective, the collective, unconscious. But, aligning with, if you say you want peace, but you're online bitching and complaining and criticizing every day on Facebook or whatever, is that really bringing peace, do you think? Or is that, it's almost like the simple thing of two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, so you're angry about these different things. You disagree with certain things that, are going on in the world, but, you're just as bad. This shooting all this negative energy and all this anger, I don't know that that's really, I don't know that's really helping anything. I just really don't. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell everybody, because I'm just coming off of that full moon. This Pisces energy is so strong, okay? We had a full moon in Leo just a couple days ago as I'm recording this. And that full moon in Leo was exactly conjunct my Mars at 24 degrees of Leo. So I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to be so productive. I'm going to get so much done, and who knows what could come of it. I was pretty excited about it. And what happened was I was so zonked. I slept over 9 hours initially, and then I did a few things, and then I went back to sleep for like 3 or 4 more hours. I was just zonked out and sleeping through the whole thing. Now, if that's not power, because when you have a Mars transit, a full moon on your Mars, you would never think that you would spend the whole day sleeping. But, I had another, this is some kind of, some new astrology insights, too. I had some new astrology insights regarding that, that I thought that, one of the things that I thought, I found it, but one of the things that I thought was maybe that full moon on my Mars was revealing that I am working myself too much, which I tend to do. I have that tendency. So, but that's, astrology is a living thing that's always changing. Just because you won't find that in a book. If you look at a full moon on your Mars, you're going to say, wow, that's going to be a day of high activity, and, you're going to get a lot done, perhaps anger, whatever. You would never think that I would just be sleeping the whole day. But I think it was a full moon that revealed that I've been Marsing it too much. I've been Marsing it up too much. Aries energy. I've been pushing. And it allowed for this to come in. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the point of transformation, point of interpretation, point of infusion. Yeah, this was this drawing I did a while ago, 2021. That's supposed to be me. But this is the important part. You see how this is all the stuff coming down from the universe. But then as it comes into your head, it's already crystallizing or becoming becoming physical, taking form, okay, like in the form of like little crystals. And then it comes in through the crown chakra and comes into being. You know, this was the image that I was trying to find. Thanks for your patience. But anyways, yeah, that's what they keep showing me. And that's the kind of divine, you know, super beautiful energy, because Pisces is beautiful beyond, you know. The other thing is, I mean, I'm not advocating this, and like I've said before, I do no drugs whatsoever. I have, you know, when I was younger, did a lot of different things, but that was just the era I grew up in. But you know, I do no drugs at all. But this can be, well, it could be drugs and alcohol, you know, escapism, but it also could be like when I was talking about those colors and that, you know, if you already are thinking about it, or maybe, you know, this could be like, you know, using, well, even shrooms, but like the ayahuasca and all that stuff. I don't even do shrooms anymore. I can't even handle it because I'm too out there already. I'm always trying to come back down to earth. So I'm not, and I like to have a clear vessel. I do smoke a little bit of weed, but that's it. You know, I don't drink. I don't do any kind of drugs whatsoever. And weed's right in its natural form. You don't have to do anything to it. It's nature provided. But anyways, Neptune does rule over that. So watch out for overindulgence in that, or you may become aware, you know, oh, maybe I need to curtail that down, or maybe if you wanted to take it to a next level and you've already been thinking about it, don't do anything on my account, please, because I don't do that stuff myself. But a lot of people are having, you know, big mystical experiences through the use of various things, you know, like DMT and these different things. That could fall under this realm. I'm not advising it. I'm just saying that could fall under this realm. Okay. So, yeah, so that's the collective. But now we've got this Mercury-Saturn thing, too. That's another aspect of all this Pisces stuff that we have to take a look at. All right, yeah, Mercury-Saturn. Putting words into form. That's what my guides just came through with. Almost back to that drawing I just showed. You know, putting words into form. Because it's, you know, there's these thoughts and ideas running around our head, but Saturn wants you to put it into form. Saturn is great. That's one way that Saturn can be very helpful when we're in all this Piscean energy, because Saturn wants to, it can ground it, it can put it roots on it, and it can put it into form. Write down those thoughts and ideas. Work on that book. If you've got that book or that blog or that whatever, you know, thing that's been kind of just rolling around in your head or your imagination forever, this is the time to like get it into form. Bring it into physical form, whether you're writing it down. I find it's very powerful to actually write with like old-fashioned pen and paper, whatever. But, you know, or type it up on your computer or text it into your phone or whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do so it doesn't get away from you. You know, so it doesn't, you know, there's so much. And the channel is so open and so clear and so wide open that, you know, there could be bits that you've never thought of before. It could be more, you know, you could be refining it and making it even better and getting even more information to go along with it, more, a clearer vision of what your higher source is trying to show you, okay? Well, at the time of this new moon, another thing, look at this, we've got Pallas conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, so flashes of brilliance. Flashes of brilliance all the way around. This is a way to use this energy for its highest form. Always with the Pisces energy, the fish swims downward or the fish swims upward, you know. Upward is all the spiritual stuff I've been talking about. Downward is the escapism, mental illness, you know, drug addictions, all that other stuff. So there's always two ways to these. I'm talking the highest way to use these energies. You know, we're bringing in this Aquarius energy now with the Pallas thing, but also this whole nodal thing is sextiling over to Uranus. So there, Uranus is also Aquarius, if that's any confusion to anybody. Uranus is ruling planet over Aquarius, so there's a similarity there. And this is you know, making a sextile aspect over here, and even to the Mercury, closer, tighter orb to the Mercury at 23 and 24 degrees. So Uranus is in the mix, and then the Pluto with this conjunction with Pallas, flashes of brilliance, flashes of ideas. And, you know, note the word flash. It comes in a flash, and it can be gone in a flash. So if you don't grab onto it, or at least these days my phone is just full of notes. What I do is I do talk to text. You know, I just hit that talk to text, blah, blah, blah. You know, any little idea I get was blah, blah, blah. I just I put it in there. And, you know, maybe I'll never get to them, like the box of tapes of music that I have, the box of cassette tapes. Or maybe I will. A lot of them I do go back to, you know, especially when I'm working on stuff. I'm working on 3 projects simultaneously right now. 2 are pretty much finished up, but I just have to do stuff with them, and then I'm working on this other project. So I've got all kinds of little notes going about that I'm talking into there. Flashes of brilliance, flashes of awakening, big aha moments. If you're stuck in Mars energy, confrontation, and the Mars is with Saturn energy, it's making a trine of Saturn. If you're stuck in this Mars energy, like I was saying before, with the social media, Aquarius is all this social media stuff too. I mean, let's face it, it's such a big part of our life. It's more a part of our life than reality almost, you know. And then AI and all this other stuff. There's people that, you know, I haven't seen since the pandemic, but I feel like I'm in touch with them. I talk to them, or, you know, see what's going on, you know, but only online. I mean, I haven't actually seen them for pandemic's 5 years ago already. So it means I haven't seen them in 5 years, you know. So I mean, that's on me, because I don't go out and see them where the people are, like the jam nights. I'm talking about a lot of my musician friends and stuff. I haven't been out to a jam or anything for probably since the pandemic, maybe once, but I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like I feel like I still know them, but you know, in reality, if I come down to reality, I haven't seen them in 5 years. You know, it's like, wow, that's pretty wild when you think about it that way. But what were we talking about? Yeah, this Mars energy. I mean, it's great. It's innovative. You can harness that Mars energy and get a lot done. You know, I like working with the Mars energy. You know, like I said, I have my Mars up there in Leo, so I work that Mars energy. But is that really, you know, this is this aha moments, this Uranian, this heavy Uranian influence. That's that big, like, you know, hey, maybe there's another way to do things. Maybe bitching at people on social media on a daily basis isn't the way to do it. And especially, like, even on when we had those bad, I mean, some of you may remember I posted about it. We had this really bad storms, I don't know, 100 and something mile an hour, and we had no power for 5 days. And, you know, people were on Facebook bitching about that too. And I said, you got to go straight to Twitter. I don't live in an affluent neighborhood at all. I live in the inner city, you know, and I went on straight to Twitter X and went straight to the power companies, told them exactly what was going on. This wire's down at this corner, and blah blah blah. This is the situation, and they were out the next day. And then, you know, 3 days later, other people are still bitching on Facebook. And nobody's listening to you bitch on Facebook. In other words, okay? I mean, I still use it. I do use it mostly because I like the groups. That's the main reason I stay on there. I love the access to that hive mind. You know, any interest you have, like I'm into gardening. You know, there's every kind of gardening group with hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world. You know, no other platform has that. So if you have a gardening question, you know, you just throw it out there, and that hive mind comes back with all these answers. You know, I've always loved that dynamic. Used to be back in the day, my parents had the bar, you know, I'd call down the bar, ask the peanut gallery, hey, what was the name of that blah, blah, blah thing? Or, you know, and I would, hey, what was the name of that blah, blah, blah? And then everybody would yell out the answers. So I love that hive mind in the groups, like, you know, gardening, for instance. There's just, you name it. Organic gardening, rose gardening, container gardening, vertical gardening, you know, any kind of gardening that you could possibly imagine. The smallest of niches, you know, organic cucumber gardening. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but it's like that. And there's a group for it. And there's, you know, maybe at least, you know, tens of thousands of people from all over the world that can give you the answers like that. And I love that. That's why I stay on there. I don't stay on there to listen to you bitch about your politics and day in and day out. You know, that's the Mars energy. I'm just going to keep driving it in. Every day I'm going to do this, and I'm going to push, push, push. And sometimes it's like, it's futile. It's not the best way to go. And it's not getting the result that you want. Come on. We've been embroiled in these political arguments for how many years now? It's years. And is it getting you what you want? I mean, it's just not. So it's really a time to take another approach. Have an enlightenment. Take another approach. Approach it with the Piscean energy in a more energetic way to affect change through your energy, the way you're expressing in the world. Because Mars, that's just divide and conquer. That's just getting down there and creating. Mars is the god of war. Okay? That's Mars's primary function, the god of war. Well, not primary function, but you know what I'm saying. That's their title. Mars, the god, is title god of war. So continually doing this Mars thing isn't going to help. It's not going to get you to where your desired result. Like even with that I told you about the transit I had, the big full moon on my Mars, I was like blah blah blah, and I'm juggling 3 projects, I'm trying to do all this other crap too. I've got so much going on right now. I'm trying to not get aggravated, trying not to do that Mars thing, but that full moon on my Mars told me, just take a day for yourself. Just, you need to sleep, you need to rest. This couldn't be more different, is the point here, The Pisces energy couldn't be more different. It's not the god of war, it's the god of the ocean. It's the god of the sea. It's all the things that we discussed in the first thing. And it's, it's the Pluto and Aquarius thing up here. It's more closely related, I would say, to Aquarius. Pisces and Aquarius are better neighbors. Like, they have more in common than Aries and Pisces. Don't have a lot in common. So there is this big transitional thing going on. And it's like the transition is like that drawing I showed. This is this phase of transition, and as we move into the spring and summer months in the Northern Hemisphere, we're going to have all that things switching to air and fire. So it's almost like the calm before the storm. That's not quite right what I'm trying to say. It's a transition, or it's a downtime that you need to have maybe this stop. Whatever, if there's anything that you are aggressively Marsing, might not be social media, it might be whatever you are pounding your head against, or aggressively pounding on the door, the way they're showing me, knocking on the door. You're knocking on the door and you're not getting in, then maybe it's time to step back. Step back, commune with spirit, commune with nature, commune with your creativity, and let this Palace and Pluto come through and bring you those brilliant ideas, bring you those brilliant downloads, it's like a letting go. It's like, I don't have to pound so hard on that door. I could just, maybe get the key. Maybe I could just go get the key instead of trying to break down the door. This could be the key. Okay. All right, so that's a lot. Hey, before we go, well, I want to remind everybody, too, that I am open for the Aries Ingress if you want to look at some of this stuff. And even the Aries Ingress this year, I'm going to also include the 2 eclipses, because they fall roughly within a week of each other. So it'll be the Aries Ingress, and then it'll be the 2 eclipses, one the week before, roughly, on the 14th. Aries Ingress is on the 20th, I believe, and then the 29th. We'll look at all this. All this will be covered in that eclipse chart. So if you want to get in on that, check out my website. The other thing is, I am going to, on this new moon, I'm going to go ahead and launch another crowdfund thing. I think this is a great launch day for me. It's really, in my chart, really good. This is all right on my natal Jupiter in the 5th, so I feel like that's going to be really good. Creativity. And Jupiter is on my natal vertex in the 8th. So, anyways, a lot going on. But I'm going to relaunch the All-Seeing Eye thing. I launched last year. I listened to more conventional wisdom that you're supposed to launch in spring. Well, everybody's launching in spring. There was a lot of campaigns going on, And so this time I'm going to go take an astrological report approach. The other thing, when I launched last time, on that platform I used, if you don't get the full amount, you get nothing. So what I'm doing, and afterwards I was like, man, I wish there was a way I could have, I could have got some decks printed for that money. Not everything that I wanted, but I could have at least fulfilled the orders and the deck would have been out there. So I'm going to launch it. It's going to be a flexible thing, and it's on a different platform. It's going to be on Indiegogo. And so this is my all-seeing eye deck. I know many people who watch this are more into the astrology and not so much into the tarot. But I wanted to let everybody know, I'm going to go ahead and pull one card, too, from my all-seeing eye deck. I normally don't do this, but I'm going to, just for fun, on the Pisces new moon. And what is the message from the all-seeing eye? Which is a really cool deck that has a pendulum board on one side and Hamza designs on the other. Let's get our, what is the card for this Pisces new moon message for the collective? I feel like I want to take this one. It says lineage. The lineage is all about like talking about your past, not only your past family life, you know, it's Saturn. It's very much a Saturn energy, but also your past soul lineage is a lot what this card, I meant this card to be. I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to read the actual definition that I wrote to it. I wrote, there's a book with this one too, and it's there. So keywords, lineage. Let me just pull this tablet over, right? Heritage, ancestors, descendants. The family tree connects us all, the past and to the past, and carries us into the future. We are all connected through the roots of our family tree and through our DNA. The ones who have left are still with us and show up through signs and symbols. The lucky penny found on the ground, the joyful chirps of the cardinal, the fluttering wings of the butterfly. Pay attention as they are sending us messages all the time. This card is a reminder to do your soul work of our ancestral healing. We are all incarnated into families where we feel we can do the most good. Break the chains of negative patterning so future generations may thrive. Yeah. Well, you know, that's the other thing with the Pisces energy. Here's a closer look at the card. You know, the Pisces energy is the past, you know. And Saturn is our ancestral karma, you know, definitely. This is a card of ancestral karma, but also to note, talking about this bridge to other dimensions, that these cardinals, that you find the penny in that, that's our ancestors peeking in and saying hello, sending us those messages, okay? All right, so this is going to launch on that day. There is a pre-launch page. I'll put that link in the description. Hope if you can contribute in any way, there's even just a $10 contribution level. You don't get the deck for $10 because it's going to cost a lot to print. You know, that's the thing. I want to make the deck so cool. And I even looked into like print on demands, and like the company I usually use, they don't even have a box for the round deck. And it's just not going to work out. They don't have a book the size. I've got a square book that's just the size of this, and it all works out perfect. I'm going to have to get it printed, you know, in an indie. It's an indie deck. So I hope that this year we can get it done. You know, well, whatever money is raised, I'll get to apply towards it. So hopefully we'll get enough to really do it up the way I want with the pendulum and all the tin and all the good stuff that goes with it. But if not, you know, it may be. You know, it may end up being just whatever, at least a deck in the booklet or something, or maybe the booklet might have to be PDF. This is what I want. You know, I wanted to have that and the pendulum, and then the whole thing, and color booklet and everything. That's the way I see it in my mind's eye. I actually was waiting. I applied to some publishers, and I got one rejection, and the other ones just never got back to me. And so it's like, this deck is done and ready to go. If there was ever a time for me to launch something, this is certainly going to be it, you know, because this is smack, the moon itself is smack on my Jupiter in the 5th. There's a lot of things. I don't want to bore you with the whole deal. My own nodes are 29 Cancer and Capricorn, so I've got nodal connections. I got a whole bunch of cool stuff happening. So look out for that deck if you want to, even if you want to just, you know, take a look at it. If you want to support it, I would love for that to happen. And again, if you want to get in on the Aries Ingress readings, I'm doing them now, and it's pretty interesting chart. There's a lot going on. And we'll look at the eclipses, and we'll talk about this whole Pisces thing as it relates specifically to your chart and your energy, okay? All right, everybody, well, thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry for the couple delays, but I really wanted to show you that picture. They were just really showing me that picture of the download into the head. I think this is partly, you know, kind of the highest energy that we could maybe achieve utilizing this beautiful Pisces energy. It could be a rainbow of gorgeous, beautiful downloads coming in and materializing into the physical form, or maybe spiritual awakening, you know, whatever. It's definitely not anything to fluff over. This is super, super powerful. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if you guys had any crazy experiences with like that full moon in Leo. That blew my mind kind of. I couldn't believe that I passed out the whole day. Like, what? I never do that. But I needed it. You know, it's shown a light on. I need to cool it with the Mars and dive into a little bit more of this kind of an energy and allow my body to rest, to quit driving myself so hard. All right, everybody, let me know your stories. Remember, you're Love and Beauty Incarnate. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great new moon, and we'll talk again soon.